Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samantha Brackman. I'm going to be discussing and demonstrating the Picture Exchange Communication System, or PECS for short. PECS is an evidence-based communication system used to help individuals who lack or have very little verbal communication skills. PECS is used in order to increase communication using picture exchange protocol. This protocol works to increase language acquisition as well as joint attention in children, which in turn expands socialization. This means that in order to gain access to a preferred item, the student must seek out the communicative partner and give them a picture icon of what they want or need. PECS consists of 6 phases, which are conducted in a specific order, establishing and building a foundation. The first phase involves teaching the student to initiate requests or exchanges, which is typically involved the student taking a single icon off a PECS board and handing it to the partner. This results in the student gaining access to the item they want or desire. This is extremely motivating for students. The student would take off the drink and hand it to the teacher working along with them. In this case, it would be one-on-one, kind of like a discrete trial situation, and there would not be any other icons on the board. And also the student would probably be sitting right across from the teacher. The second phase involves there being more space between the student and the adult. So for example, if the student wanted Legos or blocks, they would have this icon on their board, and it would be their job, if they were sitting at a different table or if they were across the room, to take over their book, because they have their book on them now, to hand the icon off the book to their teacher. And then with the icon, they would be given the blocks or the Legos that they are seeking. During this phase, it's the student's job to get around all of the obstacles so that there might be other students in the area, but they have to seek out the communicative partner that is able to give them the reinforcing item. The next phase, phase 3, the student will need to choose or discriminate between 2 icons or 2 objects. This is teaching the student to make decisions based on wants and needs and not just labels. So in that first phase, I'm not sure if I said it, the students are actually labeling items. So they would have to label their Legos that they wanted. So in this phase, the student may be seeking out, for example, Legos or The Secret Life of Pets, a video. So in order to choose what they would want, the student would have to take off the icon that they choose, for example, The Secret Life of Pets, and hand it to the communicative partner. In phase 4, the sentence strip is introduced. So for example, it could say, I want Legos. In phase 4, using an understanding of the sentence strip is taught to the student using chaining. So the teacher would point to the strip, and then the student would, as they were taking off the icon to indicate what they want, the teacher would point to the strip and have the student place it on there and help them. It could be prompted hand over hand to take off the strip and hand the strip with the desired item on it. When handed to the partner, she will read it, pausing for the desired item. So it could say, I want, and give the student a moment to see if they're having any vocalizations uttered, for example, and this helps to promote language. The 5th phase is used to answer questions. So in the 5th stage, the question, what do you want, is used. The teacher will point to the I want card and then ask, what do you want? And at this point, there could be more icons on there. I just only have 2 right now. So I want, and then the student will again answer the question by saying Legos, handing it to the teacher, and then being reinforced by gaining access to the Legos, which they are seeking. The final phase is commenting or responding to questions. This occurs when varying questions other than what do you want are used. For example, the next commonly used question is, what do you see? And then the sentence strip, for example, would say, I see, or you could have, what do you hear? And the sentence strip could say, what I hear. From my experience, PECS can be used and is beneficial for young children. The youngest student that I've used a PECS system with has been just over the age of 2 years. This was actually the board that I used with him. We started off very early with bubbles, different toys that he liked, foods, and he was able to move very quickly through the first several stages of PECS because he wanted to gain access to the items that he wanted. He would walk around with his binder and he would be able to hand us the picture icons. And then when we started using the sentence strip, we ran into a little bit of difficulty and it included more and more prompting, but he finally got that. One of the other things that I found interesting, when we were doing research, I didn't find too much information about it. On our strips, we would actually have a yellow box here, and he would be able to say, I want more Legos. So if he didn't have enough Legos, he could ask for more, or if he wanted more goldfish or whatever he was seeking. So again, from the research, I found that it's very beneficial for young children. I think that it's important that PECS be utilized with students who are emerging with language or who lack language at this point, because in my experience with using PECS, my client was able to gain language and be able to communicate with us verbally as well as using his PECS symbols. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have a great day.